In the age of technology, social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook have become the primary mode of interaction for billions of people. What began as a convenient tool to connect with others has spiraled into an all-consuming phenomenon that dictates how we live, communicate, and perceive ourselves. Despite its promises of connectivity and information sharing, social media has dismantled the authenticity of human interaction, weakened our emotional bonds, and perpetuated a culture of superficiality. The damage caused by social media extends beyond simple distraction. It is eroding the very essence of what makes us human. Social media has irreparably damaged the fabric of our relationships. Gone are the days of meaningful face-to-face conversations, where people shared their joys, sorrows, and dreams without distractions. Instead, we now interact through screens, reducing deep connections to hollow exchanges of likes, emojis, and comments. Relationships have shifted from intimate connections to curated performances meant to impress an audience. Friends and family members no longer experience each other in the moment. Instead, they consume each other's lives through filtered highlights on a digital feed. This shift creates a vacuum where genuine connection used to thrive. Worse still, social media's superficial interactions foster loneliness rather than alleviating it. A like or a heart emoji on a post can never replace the warmth of a hug, the comfort of shared silence, or the satisfaction of a meaningful conversation. The illusion of constant connection masks a deeper reality. People feel more isolated than ever. True relationships require vulnerability, patience, and presence, qualities that cannot be conveyed through a smartphone screen. By prioritizing online interactions over real-life connections, we risk losing the emotional depth that defines us as social beings. In a world dominated by social media, self-worth has become tied to digital validation. Instead of finding value in our unique qualities, achievements, or relationships, we now measure our worth through likes, followers, and views. This constant pursuit of online approval turns life into a never-ending popularity contest, where people carefully curate their lives to meet unrealistic expectations. Rather than embracing individuality, users fall into the trap of conformity, editing their realities to match the trends and standards dictated by social media. This reliance on external validation undermines self-esteem and creates a fragile sense of identity. People begin to view themselves not as complex individuals, but as brands that need constant promotion. The consequences are devastating. This includes anxiety, depression, and a pervasive fear of rejection. Even worse, the need to appear perfect at all times erases the messiness and humanity that make life real. People are no longer free to live authentically, as every action is filtered through the lens of how it will be perceived online. Empathy, the cornerstone of human connection, is rapidly disintegrating in the age of social media. When you interact with someone face-to-face, you pick up on their tone of voice, body language, and unspoken emotions. These cues build understanding and compassion, allowing us to connect on a deeper level. Social media strips away these essential elements of communication, reducing conversations to text on a screen. Without the nuances of real-life interaction, misunderstandings are common, and emotional connections become shallow. Moreover, the anonymity and distance provided by social media encourage cruelty. People are more likely to say hurtful things online than they would in person because they are shielded from the immediate consequences of their words. This has given rise to trolling, cyberbullying, and cancel culture, phenomena that thrive on outrage and lack nuance. Instead of fostering dialogue, social media fuels conflict, creating an environment where empathy is replaced by judgment and hostility. The digital world has become a battlefield, where people tear each other down rather than build each other up. Social media markets itself as a tool for connection, but what it offers is a cheap imitation of the real thing. While it allows us to stay in touch with people from afar, it rarely fosters meaningful relationships. Scrolling through a feed gives the illusion of being involved in someone's life, but in reality, it is a passive and superficial experience. Instead of asking someone how they're doing or showing up for them in person, we settle for tapping like on their latest post. This behavior reduces relationships to transactions, where interactions are measured in clicks and comments rather than genuine care. Even when we're with others in real life, social media creates a barrier to connection. People often spend more time documenting their experiences than living them. For example, During a dinner with friends, instead of enjoying the meal and the company, people are busy taking pictures and uploading them to their stories. These moments, meant to bring people closer, are instead fragmented by the constant need to share them with an online audience. The result is a society where people are physically present but emotionally absent. Social media has not only redefined how we connect, but also obliterated our sense of privacy. By posting every detail of our lives online, we invite corporations and strangers into spaces that were once sacred. Social media platforms thrive on this overexposure, collecting and selling our data to advertisers. However, the most concerning aspect is how we've normalized this invasion. People now willingly share intimate moments, personal struggles, and even their children's lives with a faceless audience, all for the sake of likes and views. This erosion of privacy also affects how we view one another. Social media encourages voyeurism, where people feel entitled to judge and comment on others' lives. This constant scrutiny creates a culture of performance, where authenticity is sacrificed in favor of what is socially acceptable or popular. In the past, personal lives were private, and boundaries were respected. Now those boundaries have been erased, leaving us exposed and vulnerable in ways we are only beginning to understand. Social media has turned us into actors in a digital theater, where everyone is performing a role rather than being themselves. The pressure to present a perfect life leads people to curate their posts, edit their photos, and filter their reality. Over time, this performance becomes so ingrained that many lose touch with who they truly are. The online persona takes precedence, and authenticity becomes a casualty. These artificial personas not only deceive others, but also create internal conflicts. People struggle to reconcile their real selves with the flawless version they present online. This disconnect breeds dissatisfaction and a sense of emptiness. Instead of embracing their imperfections and unique qualities, individuals feel compelled to fit into a mold dictated by likes and algorithms. The result is a society of facades, where people are more concerned with maintaining appearances than fostering genuine connections. In conclusion, social media has not only changed the way we communicate, but has fundamentally altered the way we live. It promises connection yet delivers isolation, offering shallow interactions in place of genuine relationships. What was once a tool to bridge distances has now become a barrier to the most important aspects of life: presence, empathy, and authenticity. The more we rely on social media to interact, the further we drift from the people and experiences that ground us. The damage goes beyond individual relationships. It seeps into how we view ourselves and the world around us. Social media has trained us to seek validation from strangers, prioritize appearance over substance, and measure our lives by metrics that mean nothing in the real world. It's not just ruining our relationships with others, it's eroding our relationship with ourselves. The constant performance, the curated personas, and the endless scrolling rob us of time and energy that could be better spent living fully and authentically. Reclaiming our lives requires a conscious effort to step away from the screen and re-engage with the real world. It's about choosing depth over breadth, valuing the quality of a few meaningful relationships over the illusion of thousands of online connections. It's about embracing the imperfections that make us human and finding joy in moments that don't need to be shared with an audience. While social media may continue to dominate our culture, we have the power to decide how much of our lives it will consume. By setting boundaries and prioritizing face-to-face interactions, we can push back against its influence and rediscover the richness of genuine connection. The world beyond the screen is filled with beauty, challenges, and opportunities for growth, things no algorithm or app can ever replicate. If we want to live lives that are authentic, fulfilling, and truly connected, it's time to put the phone down and look up. Only then can we reclaim the humanity that social media has slowly but surely taken away.